Willkommen zurück zu Danganronpa Never. Wir sind mitten im Class Trial. Unser Fortschritt bisher: wir wissen, dass Kyoka nicht im Frauenbadezimmer auf der Frauentoilette gestorben ist, sondern im Laundry Room. Und wir wissen, jemand hat sie hingelockt. Und sie wurde nicht erhängt, sondern wurde erschlagen und dann aufgehängt. So viele Hinweise und trotzdem noch keinen Schritt näher, wer es sein könnte, denn jetzt kann es jeder sein. Mann oder Frau. Ach, mal gucken, wer es ist. Kinji, was hast du für uns?
Kyoka was murdered in the laundry room, although we can now be certain about the statement. Is it not too early to conclude that a man could be the culprit as well?
Huh? Ja, er ist doch dabei, dass man die aufhängen muss im Laundry Room. Woman's Bathroom.
Well, it is possible for a man to commit murder in the laundry room and carry the body to the restroom. Recall the fact that Kyoka was not merely lying on the restroom floor. She was hanged by a rope attached to the ceiling. Have we forgotten this already?
Oh, you're right! The murder could be done somewhere else, but you have to enter the restroom to connect the rope to the ceiling.
So the culprit is really a girl then?
What? Oh, are we back to that where we started?
Seriously, guys, you want to think the culprit is a girl like that bad?
No, but Kinji is not wrong. It's impossible to tie a rope to a pipe inside the restroom, unless you are inside as well.
See, the killer is one of the girls.
Wait. It's too early to make that conclusion. Can there be a way to hang the body from the outside?
If Kinji is right, the killer cannot be a guy. But if there's a way to refute that logic, I have to come up with that even if the chance are less than 1%.
Ich meine, unsere Kultistenfreundin hat ja mal gesagt, dass irgendwas an dem Seil komisch ist. Vielleicht weiß sie, was los ist.
This isn't a drill. A single mistake can kill all of us.
If we put our heads together, we'll be able to find the answer. Ich liebe das Drehen ist witzig. Make your argument. Kommt die Aussage von Kanata. Hook platzt in den Body Kanatas Account, okay.
A way to hang the body from the outside? Is that really possible?
Falsche.
Is that really possible? What if the culprit used a tool for it?
Maybe the culprit had a tall height.
They must have climbed up the wall.
Oh, nein, ich will. Nein, ich möchte das wechseln. Hallo?
It's kind of a stunt. Satsu can do it too.
Hey, we're being serious here. Weiß nicht. Weiß ich nicht.
Let's think closely. There's still a possibility that the guy is the culprit. The body could be hung without entering the restroom. That would prove the culprit could be a guy too. Don't struggle on your own. There's definitely something. Come to think of it, there was another object attached to the rope.
Ja, der Hook. Ich weiß es doch, der Hook. Der Hook. Ja.
Is that really possible?
Große. Tool! Ich stimme dir zu. Es wurde ein Werk benutzt, und zwar der Hook. 20, 30, 35, 85. Reicht mir.
That's it, Ayame. You can use the tool.
A tool? But how?
I almost forgot. The tool that was tied to the rope. It's right here. Do you see it?
Looks like a hook to me.
A hook? The rope had something like that? I'm starting to get impressed by the extent of you guys' stupidity. But Eustace made a good point this time. You're right. Looks like you got it correct.
So, what about the hook? The culprit must have thrown this hook with the rope attached to connect it to the pipe on the ceiling. That way, the rope is all set. Afterwards, they can tie the other end to Kyoko's neck and push her body inside. Wouldn't that be possible to do without actually entering the woman's restroom?
Yes, it is. That is our answer.
Hold on. Look how the rope is tied to the pipe. It's been twined several times around the pipe. Is it possible to do it with that heavy-looking hook on the rope?
Oh, he's right. It's fastened by the hook, but the rope went around several times.
I know. It's nearly impossible to tie a rope like that when there's a hook attached.
What the? You said like it's possible.
That's why the couple used another tool to secure the rope onto the pipe. Another tool? Der Ball! Bestimmt der Ball. The rubber ball.
What is that other tool?
Seems that Makaru is the only one who realized what it is. Well, can you tell us, Makaru?
Like hell, I realized. I knew it from the very beginning. And if you're trying to sound me out, quit it. I already said that I have no plans to offer any help. Besides, it looks like Useless over there got hold of it anyway. Why don't you ask him?
Me?
Yuki, can you tell us the answer?
Well, it's...
Oh, you didn't? Sorry about that. I guess that question was too hard for your non-functional brain.
I won't forgive myself if I don't give an answer after hearing that. In fact, I'm sure that I found that object during the investigation, didn't I? A tool other than the hook was used to secure the rope from the outside. The tool was...
Der Ball, oder? Wurde das Seil wurde der Haken um den Ball gebunden? Und dann übers Ding geworfen? Also über die Pipe geworfen? Und dann ist er gegen die Wand geknallt. Und aufgeplatzt. Deswegen auch die Farbe hier. Okay, der Rubber Ball, ja. Aber das heißt, was bringt uns das? Kann ja trotzdem dann jeder sein. Ah, dann kann es zwar jeder sein. Okay, dann kann es ja ein Junge sein. Das heißt ist sogar schlau. Das zeigt sogar mehr, dass es ein Junge ist. Ich glaube, der Killer ist ein Mann. Weil eine Frau hätte es easy gemacht. Weil ich glaube, keiner wäre auf die Idee gekommen, oh, ich mache das alles, um den Kill zu machen. Die hätten es einfach umgebunden. Gut. And one more thing. There was a key piece of evidence that can prove this tool's involvement in the crime. Die Abdrücke hier. Die Abdrücke an der Wand. Ah, I got it. I figured out the other tool used by the culprit. It's the rubber ball. The rubber ball. Rubber ball? What's a rubber ball? It's like a bouncy ball. Have you ever played with them when you were young? It's full of some kind of viscous liquid that makes it bounce back up when it's hit the floor.
Oh, I know. I made some improvement to it and sold it overseas under the name Hyperball. Did I tell y'all that it's still selling great?
How's it relevant to the case? You better tell us quick, Yuki. Okay, I figured out the way the rubber ball was used in the murder just now. After Tsurugi said the culprit used another tool to set the rope in place, I tried to relate the act of winding the rope with the circumstance of the murder. I think we can be certain about the culprit using a hook since we found one on the pipe. But as Mitch pointed out, it's impossible to wind the rope like that with the hook alone. Pulling the hook after setting up the rope wasn't a choice either, because there's no way to get the rope around the pipe by itself. Besides, they have to step inside that to attach the hook. That's why the culprit used the rubber ball! Before using the hook, the culprit tied the rope around the rubber ball. Then they threw it inside the restroom, between the pipe and the ceiling to be more exact. That way, the ball would hit the wall and bounce back towards where it started. Ach, der hat es öfter gemacht! Ganz oft! Oh Gott, Emma! Jesus. Der hat das ganz oft gemacht, damit der irgendwann umgebunden wird. Und dann hat er den Ball abgemacht. If you repeat this multiple times, you get the rope around the pipe with the ball returning to the entrance every time. All's left is to remove the ball and tie a hook to throw it on the pipe. But the culprit probably faced something that wasn't part of the plan here. Der Ball ist geplatzt. The rubber ball burst because of the pressure from rebounding off the wall. It spilled its contents all over the wall and the floor, which is still left at the scene. Was ebenfalls heißt, das muss ein Mann gewesen sein. Weil eine Frau hätte es gesehen und weggemacht. Sie kann ja da rein. Auch wenn sie das so gemacht hätte. This is how the culprit tied the rope without going inside the girl's restroom. The hook and the rubber ball were used to make it look like it was done from the inside.
Oh, so that must have been the stinky liquid on the wall.
Well said, Yuki. I agree with you.
Well, if the ultimate police officer says so, I guess he's right.
Everyone, did you notice something after getting to this point?
Notice what?
Think closely. We were talking about the possibility of a man being the culprit. But don't you think it should be the opposite after going through all this? Es muss ein Mann sein. Meine Frau hat das nicht gemacht. Meine Frau hat sich viel zu... Die Arbeit wäre unnötig gewesen. Opposite? My explanation involving the hook and the ball was to prove that it's possible for a guy to be the culprit. But if the opposite of that is true, that means the culprit is a man. The culprit is Monokuma. The culprit is a man. Ja. Muss sein, weil sonst wäre es nicht passiert. That's right. We're going the opposite direction ever since.
Opposite direction? What are you talking about?
We thought that the culprit was a girl, so we thought of a way to hang Kyoka from outside the restroom based on the assumption, what if a guy could be the culprit as well? Turns out that wasn't the case. It's very unlikely that the culprit is among the girls. The killer's definitely a man.
What? It was me!
Hey, how so? Why is it suddenly like that? Think about what we just went through. The culprit undoubtedly used the hook and the rubber ball to connect the rope to the ceiling. Now, suppose the culprit was a woman. Would there be a reason for her to use such complicated measures when she could have simply stepped inside and tied the rope directly?
That makes sense. It looks like the culprit had to do it without going inside the restroom.
Furthermore, if the culprit was a woman and had to use the hook of a rubber ball for some reason, they would have been able to clean the stain on the wall afterwards. Hab ich auch gesagt. Right, as mentioned before, the culprit probably didn't expect the rubber ball to burst. To clean the liquid off the wall, they needed to get inside the restroom.
But they couldn't, because guys can't enter the girls' restroom.
I can't say it with absolute certainty, but it's the most reasonable explanation we can think of. There would be no reason for the culprit to intentionally leave traces in this murder scene. I mean, the liquid stain on the wall was a big hint for figuring out how the ball was used by the culprit.
Aha! That automatically gives us a alibi, right?
Plus, even better. Yuki, Teruya, Haruhiko, Mitsuhiro, Tsurugi, Kinji, and Kakeru.
We know one of them's got to be it.
Hold on. What if the culprit was a woman and tried to make us think this way all along? I highly doubt it. The reason the culprit hanged Kyoka in the first place was to make us think that a woman did it.
Oh, so it had nothing to do with disguising it as a suicide from the start.
Indeed, everything was to lead us to thinking that a woman is the culprit. In other words, the culprit wanted us to think that way.
So they wouldn't become a suspect. All because the culprit himself was a man. Everything's connected now.
I found it strange to find the rubber Miss Maki's neck being too loose. In retrospect, I see that was the case because the culprit didn't intend to make it look like a suicide at all.
I can't believe it took this long for you to reach that point.
What's up with you talking like you already knew all of this stuff?
Because I already knew.
Well?
I already have everything worked out. Who the culprit is, why they killed, anything you could possibly think of.
What? And you just stood there in silence when you had all the answers?
How many times will I have to repeat this? I have absolutely no reason to help you out.
Mikaru, this is a competition. If you don't share what you know and we end up voting for the wrong person, you're going to die too.
Of course I'll share my knowledge when it gets to that. But even without me, you still have Tsurugi Kinjo over there to help you. And useless. You're getting pretty close to the truth too. I was actually surprised.
Oh, ich hasse sie jetzt schon. Sie ist so, ihr braucht mich nicht. Ihr könnt es selber machen. Ihr habt ja euch beide, nicht wahr?
Perhaps you weren't completely useless after all, Monkey.
Monkey?
Jeez, she's with Muck. Well, she's always been like that. We should ignore what she says and keep moving on.
Sure. I believe we left off from saying the culprit is a man.
I wonder who it is. Wow, she must be really excited by the tables turning.
Although we now know that the killer is among the men. We still need to specify one person out of 7. Is there any kind of clue that narrows down the list?
Well, If Miss McCarroll was able to work out the culprit's identity, there must be a clue pointing to the killer somewhere.
The problem is we don't know what the clue is.
Tsurugi, a little help here, like something that can nail the killer.
I do have something in mind, but you shouldn't rely on me for everything. All of you should figure the case out by yourself and understand the reason behind our final verdict.
Kyoka. Huh.
Hey y'all, any ideas about the culprit?
Well, nothing in particular, I suppose.
We're almost there. You know that the culprit is one of the guys.
Just to remind y'all, it's not me. That reaction is making you look even more suspicious.
Just like you from a while ago.
What did you just say?
Hick, I'm sorry.
Wasn't that out of character, Kizuna?
Since most of you seem to be having trouble with this, let me suggest going around. How about we all think of something else first?
Such as?
Don't you want to know why Kyoka died? Why Kyoka had to die?
Of course we do. Kyoka was always full of spirit and a nice friend to us. She didn't deserve to die.
To begin with, 2 people were indirectly involved in Kyoka's death.
2 people? Are you implying that there are 2 culprits?
No, I'm not saying those 2 took part in murder. But they heavily influenced the events leading up to Kyoka's death. The point is, Kyoka died as a result of someone's mistake and the culprit's misjudgment that stemmed from it. Mistake and misjudgment? Oh, wo unser Fliegerarzt die Schilder vertauscht hat. Ich glaube, die wollte eigentlich den Polizisten töten. I need the help of a certain someone to explain this. Yuki, could you help me out? Huh, me? Do you remember the conversation we had in the hallway? The one over the nameplates. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, you told me then that you know who caused that change to the nameplates. I don't have knowledge regarding this matter, so I'd like for you to provide us the context.
Hello, I've got 0 ideas on what the 2 of you are talking about.
Okay, I'll explain it to everyone. Yesterday, while all of us were in shock after Mulcom showed us the motive, there was a minor incident that happened. The people who know about that incident are Schluck auf, me, Haru, Satsuki, and finally Kyoka.
Huh?
Huh? They don't look like they know it though.
Haru, Satsuki, did you forget what happened before nighttime yesterday? With the nameplates. Oh, that!
You mean the thing with Haru's triple spin?
Yeah, would you mind explaining to us what happened back then? I think there's something you didn't know about it, and I'll tell you when we get there. Okay.